everybody has had a wonderful week, and I hope that everyone's definitely taken advantage of the new $24.99 to enroll as an ambassador. Just so you guys know, I just want to thank everybody for coming on and trying to learn a little bit more about the products. So I just want to start off and go over a little bit of everything, just go over what the products are, what each one, talk a little bit more about dosages. There's a couple of questions that I've been getting here this week that I just wanted to talk about again in the Zoom. So we'll just go ahead and I'll switch over and start my PowerPoint that I put together, just so it's a little bit more simple, so I don't go too fast, so everybody has time to write some stuff down. If they have any questions, we'll definitely get to those at the end of the Zoom. So let's just get started. Let me share my screen. So first and foremost, let's talk about the ReAction products. So there's a bunch of different products in ReAction, so I just want to go a little bit over of what each product is. So we'll start off by talking about the ReAction tinctures. So the tinctures come in 4 different flavors, and the 4 different flavors come in orange, there's blue raspberry, there's honey, and there's natural. All those flavors do come in 2 different strengths, so you get to choose from. So that comes in 500 milligrams and 1,000 milligrams, and that's in the entire bottle. That's not per dropper. That's something we're going to get to in a little bit later in the Zoom. So those come in 2 different sizes as well. So it's a 30 milliliter bottle or a 5 milliliter bottle, which is our travel size, what a lot of people either travel with or something that they can share with their friends and family. And then freezing up. Sorry, guys. So then talk about the average dosage. So the average dosage is a very common question that I get asked when it comes to the tincture oil, because a lot of people think it's per dropper when really that it's not per dropper. So talking about the average dosage, the average human needs around 33.3 milligrams of CBD on as a daily dose. So how you can tell the average dosage when it comes to each dropper is what you can do is you want to divide the milligram by the milliliter. So say if you buy a 500 milligram bottle of tincture oil, that is going to be, if you take that divided by 30 milliliters, since one eyedropper is 1 milliliter, you're going to end up at 16.6. And if you times that by 2, you're going to get to that average dosage of 33.3 milligrams, meaning you need to take that dropper twice a day to get to the average dosage. So say if you do 1,000 milligrams, that's only once a day. And then because you do the 1,000 milligram divided by 30, and that equals your average dosage. So you really only need 1 dropper that day. So then let's get into the topicals. This is another common asked question of mine. What's the difference between the pump versus salve? So a pump is going to be something, it's more of an oil base, something that you just pump directly into your hand, rub it on your skin. Because the topicals are more oil-based, it's easily absorbed through your skin. A salve is going to be more of like a Vaseline. So really the only big difference is in those two is the texture. So what a lot of people use for the salve is anybody that has irritated like skin elements, something that you may need a little bit more of. So a lot of people like bed sores, your feet have a lot of cracks in them. Some people can rub that right on there and it absorbs a little bit faster, so you can actually just keep a little bit more cream on there at a time. So the topicals, there are 30 milliliter pumps or salves. They both have 30 milliliters of topical in them, and it also comes in a 10 milliliter travel size. So one of your little guys that you can give out to people as a sample, something that you want to take on the road with you or keep in your bag, just in case if anything comes up, it starts raining, you have some pain that you want to get rid of. So in each of one of those, there is 2,100 milligrams of FSC, and they use all natural ingredients in all of those. So what's the difference in the ReAction topicals? So Renew is something to treat skin condition such as psoriasis, eczema, rashes, common issues that impact your skin. Then there's Relief. So Relief is an all-natural and long-lasting pain cream for any chronic pain like inflammation. So a lot of commonly used stuff for that is arthritis, fibromyalgia, any pain that can be caused naturally by aging or any injuries, anything like that. So it's a good spot cream for any pain issues you have. Then you have Revive. So Revive you can add to any of your beauty routines. It actually boosts antioxidants that actually could help your skin give an extra layer of protectant for any fine lines, wrinkles, aging spots. It just helps with healthier and more youthful skin. It's also an anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. It has a lot of those properties in it, so it can help actually fight a lot of the acne that a lot of people suffer with. So then there's Recovery. So Recovery is actually a process for the skin and body that is almost an instant pain relief from any daily aches or pains from burns, bruising, cramping, sprains, strains, sore muscles. So anybody that's constantly using your muscles, just something to help those muscles and joint pains. So let's get into capsules. So capsules, there's 2 different serving sizes in the capsules. So it comes in a travel size, which is a 7-day capsule. So there's 7 capsules in there, and that's 210 milligrams total. And then the 30-day capsules, there's 30 capsules in it, and there's 1,000 milligrams total inside the whole bottle. So each capsule has 33.3 milligrams, which is the average dosage. So the ingredients in the capsules are the full spectrum extract, organic flaxseed oil, and omega-3s. So those are really great for any nighttime use, for any of those who want the quick and easy relief. And then also they're extremely concentrated, so they last really long. When your body digests something, it's probably going to be the longest lasting effects that you have. So then there is the ReAction Reclaim Lip Balm. So this is an all-natural, full-spectrum lip balm. So the Reclaim is really great for dry, cracked lips, especially if you're from the North Carolina area. Whenever it gets real cold out, get dry spots around your lips. It's really great for that. And there's been a lot of testimonies recently about fever blisters. So anybody that just has any of those issues, definitely I recommend trying out the lip balm. So then we have our edibles, our ReAction edibles, one of my favorite things. So those come in fudge, caramels, and chocolate. So each one of those are 10 milligrams each. So there's a total of 4 in each pack. So it's 40 milligrams total in the pack. The fudge, they all come assorted flavors. So the fudge, there is chocolate, there is mint chocolate, and then there's key lime with the pie crust around it, and then the watermelon. So with the caramels, there are 2 different flavors. That's milk chocolate and dark chocolate. And with the just normal chocolates, there's 4 different flavors in there as well. So there's chocolate, coffee, orange, and strawberry. So anybody that hasn't tried those, you really need to, because they're super tasty. What a lot of people use them for is they're really great for a midday extra dose. So if you're struggling one day and you just want to take an extra one, or if you're one of those people that need something throughout the day, that's a perfect way to get that extra dosage. There's a lot of people that use it before bedtime to help them unwind, just get super relaxed because of a long day. So a lot of people tend to use these with their kids as well for that extra dosage throughout the day. Whenever you use an edible, it takes a little bit longer for you to feel it because your body does have to break it down in order for you to feel the reaction, but it does tend to last a lot longer whenever you're digesting something that way. And then we have, of course, our new gummies. The new gummies are some of our most popular right now. So the gummies come assorted flavors as well. So that is grape, there's orange, and there's lemon lime, which if you haven't tried the gummies, it is a must. You need to try the gummies because they all taste phenomenal. I love them. They're 10 milligrams a piece. There is 10 that come in the whole jars, so it's a total of 100 milligrams that you're getting. They're really great for that extra dose throughout the day, or even a lot of people have been tending to use them at night. I was really excited about the gummies because I do work with a lot of children that have to take CBD throughout the day for an extra dosage, so this is a lot more convenient having the gummies right there, and they taste great. But I do want to remind anybody that has bought gummies or is buying gummies, make sure you check your bottles before you eat them all. I know it's tempting, but you have to check it because there is a hidden R in, I think they said they put it in about 50 bottles. I'm not exactly sure how many R's that there are, but if you find an R, you have to take a picture, post it, send it in the company, and you can win $100 worth of prizes. And it's super exciting. So anybody that's buying a bunch of gummies, make sure you do double check that you're not eating an R that you can find in the gummies. So then we have our ReAction Pet line. One of my most favorites, and a lot of people are excited about it. There is a 500 milligram ReAction syringe. That is something that I would recommend if you are dosing your animals with, that I would recommend that you put it either on or inside of a treat. It's not something that you really want to put it directly in your animal's mouth. Then there is the ReAction Pet Tincture, so that's 500 milligrams. That is probably one of the most simple ways of dosing your animal. You can give it to them straight in their mouth. You can put it on a food. You can put it in treat. It really just depends on what kind of animal you have. If it is a animal that eats throughout the day, every single day, and you just leave a bowl of food, that's something that you want to make sure that you're either giving it to them a treat and you know it's getting the dosage, or putting it directly in their mouth. You just want to make sure that you're knowing what your animal's receiving and that they're getting the good dosage that they need. And then there is the ReAction capsules. So those are 500 milligram capsules, and you can give that. Most animals I know don't just eat capsules, so a lot of people put that in cheese. And then you have your ReAction Pet Salve. So that's 500 milligrams as well. So any animals that have hot spots, any itchy areas, I would definitely recommend trying the salve. It's incredible. There's so many testimonies that are online about this salve. It is safe for your animals, so when you rub it on there, if they do tend to lick it, you don't have to worry about it. But there's incredible testimonies within the hair growing back within like 5 days. It's definitely incredible. If you haven't tried this with your animals, I definitely recommend trying it. So all the ReAction Pet products are made with all natural and safe ingredients. Plus, they also add phytoplankton, which is actually extremely, extremely healthy for your pets. So definitely give this a try. Then how do we know? This is one of the biggest, most common questions that I get asked every time. And if you don't feel comfortable, still trying to figure out the average dosage for somebody, you can always reach out to me. But this is something that a lot of people message me about and say, what should I start this person off with? Which is perfect. If you don't know the answer, please reach out. But this is kind of some of the tips that I give people just so you can be able to determine what the average dosage is and what to give somebody. So one of the biggest key thing is remember that every single human being is completely different. So something that could work for somebody that is 13 and weighs 100 pounds could work completely different than somebody that is 200 pounds and is 50 years old. So even if the 13-year-old is on a higher dosage than the 200-pound person, that is completely normal. Just know nothing depends on your size. It doesn't have to do with your weight. It does not have to do with your age. Dosage has nothing to do about that. It's all about what your endocannabinoid system needs and how it's going to work for you. So everybody's different. So just keep remembering that everybody's different. Don't ever let anybody just immediately assume it's because of your size, your weight, your age. It has nothing to do with that. So a lot of the times when you work with kids, one of the biggest things that you'll notice is that they tend to need a lot more CBD than the average human. And why that is because their metabolism runs so much faster than what an average human would be. So that should be your key point right then and there, that it has nothing to do with your size or weight. So if you're dealing with an average person who is just looking for better sleep or just wants to feel better for overall, they're just doing this for health, what I would recommend is starting them off with the average dosage. That's a 500 milligram tincture. So that is one full dropper in the morning and one full dropper at night. Whenever they do that, you want to make sure that they hold it under their tongue a minimum of 30 seconds up to 60 seconds. And most of you guys know you really want to hold it there as long as you can, because when you're holding something under your tongue, it's the fastest way in your bloodstream. So the longer you hold it, the more your body's going to be able to absorb. And you always want to make sure that you tell your customer to shake the bottle well before using it. So make sure you shake it up really good just to make sure that they're getting that average dosage and that it stays very consistent. But that's how you always just start off with the average. That's kind of why we went over how to determine what's in each dropper. So after 7 days of using the products on that dosage, you want to reevaluate if they need more. So you just want to ask them how they're doing, if they've had a great, humongous change in their life and they really love it, or they need something a little bit different. It's not helping them as much with sleep. And that's really because you got to think it's putting your body back in that homeostasis. It's equaling you back out. It's trying to, work through all the hormones, any issues that could be causing, the person not to sleep. So if they need more, what I would recommend is just adding an edible in there. Personally, I'd say the gummies in the middle of the day, that is a perfect way to get, an extra dosage through there. Or they can even add an extra dropper during the day, or they can add a capsule at night. So there's a lot of different ways we can play with this. So if you can just add a normal, edible, but some people, what a lot of people have been tending to doing is they're just doing a capsule at night, and they're usually doing a tincture in the afternoon. So if they do add a capsule at night, you would take away the tincture at night. So they would only be doing the tincture in the morning and one capsule at night. So if you find themselves taking more than 2 droppers a day, then in order for it to be a little bit less expensive for them, then they might as well go ahead and move it up to the 1,000 milligrams. And what I tell people is start off with the average, the twice a day, 500 milligrams. And if there's a day that's worse than another, take an extra dropper. So if it's something like anxiety and they're constantly having to take an extra dropper that day, and they're saying they move up to 3 droppers every single day, that bottle's not going to last them as long as it should be. It's probably going to last anywhere from like 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks. So if you move them up to that 1,000 milligrams and they just start off with a full drop in the morning, full dropper at night, and that will give them that extra dosage, that's going to last them a lot longer and save them more money in the long run. So I always recommend to everyone when they sell a product that you want to make sure that people are taking it a minimum of 2 times a day, morning and at night, because whenever you're taking the products throughout the day, you want to replenish your body of what it's lacking. So whenever you take it in the morning, by the time, throughout the day, I always recommend, every 8 hours. So once in the morning, once at night. So you can find people have more chronic issues that they need to start off with 1,000 milligram tincture in the morning and maybe a capsule at night. So that's one of the biggest things. If not, just start off with an extra. So that's, a heavy dosage, or you can do the 1,000 milligram tincture once in the morning, once at night. There's a couple different ways that you can go about that. So some people might take the 1,000 milligrams morning and at night with a gummy in the middle of the afternoon. And that is completely normal. That's just because their body's just filtering a lot of the stuff out, so they're having to consume a little bit more of it. So always remember, one of the biggest things when it comes to CBD is that you cannot overdose with these products. It's just replenishing your body of what it's lacking. There's no symptoms to it, so whenever you do take the CBD, you're not going to overdose. The worst that's going to happen to you is that you feel tired. So there are a lot of people that say, a lot of people that think, oh, I don't want to be tired. That's why you just start off with the average and those extras. There are a lot of people that have now been able to move up and do capsules in the afternoon. That's because their bodies are being able to get used to it. Your body has gotten the sleep that it needs. So just start off with a good dosage. And if there are more chronic, scenarios, start off with what I would always recommend is 1,000 milligram tincture in the morning and a capsule at night. So that is all that I have to share when it comes to the PowerPoint right now. I just hope that really helped everybody and explained some of the common, questions that I get asked. I just wanted to go over with everybody. Maybe it makes a little bit more sense to you guys, and you guys can be able to break it down and explain it to other people. So if anybody has any questions right now, you can just unmute yourselves or message them in the chat bar. Let me check. Does anybody have any questions right now?
Hey, Victoria, it's Rachel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I actually just got some products in the hands of someone who's got a lot of firefighter friends, which is kind of cool. Yeah, but so he was messaging me tonight saying, hey, I'm going to let my friends know, about this. You should go after firefighters. Isn't that funny? And I was like, huh. Well, add them to the group, right? Add them to my group. But either way, he was like, do they have to worry about drug testing? And whenever I get asked that question, typically how I respond to it is, tell me if you have a better talk track. And I think Jeff's on, and Jeff was giving me some coaching on this a week or so ago. But that was like, look, all CBD products can potentially throw a I don't want to say a false negative or whatnot, right? And so therefore, we have these third-party lab, reports, right? Third party. If you're concerned, you can always get those in front of your employer, right? And show them, although, it's 0.03%, right? THC. But if you're worried, take the COAs in and show it to your employer, before you take the products. We can't guarantee, that you won't show up. Any better things to add to that, or anything differently that you would?
Yeah, what I always say when people ask me, can these products pass a drug test? I always make sure that they know fully that they do contain THC in them, in that it could throw a false positive. You never want to, tell them, oh, no, you're fine. You're completely fine. Just take it and nothing will happen, kind of a thing. And it doesn't sound like you're saying that. But I always explain it to people as the CBD molecule and the THC molecule look extremely similar. So you're, like Jeff said, that you're no more likely to fail with these products than you are with any other products. But the THC is extremely minute. It's under the federal legal limit of 0.3 THC. What I always recommend telling people is I always recommend printing off the COAs, the certificate of analysis, that you can find on the Feel the Reaction page. Print them off, take them to your employer with the product that you want to be taking, and you ask your employer, can I start taking these products? I'm taking it for this, this, and this, and I don't want to take this, this, and this. And this is, most likely they won't have any issues, but you definitely want to just make sure that you tell anybody that does ask that question. There's been a lot of people that I know that have never had issues with it because it is so minute, but everybody's body's different. So some people may attach to it more than others. But what I always tell people too, if you do ever throw up a false positive, that legally they have to send it off to a lab if you ask them to. So whenever they send it off to the lab, they will be able to break down what it actually was. So usually whenever it comes back, that it will come back as just CBD and no THC, if that makes any sense. Did you freeze up on me, Rachel? I think so. Hopefully that I got that question answered. Then Jenny, I think, asked if the PowerPoint will be available to reference, and yes, it will be. It's going to be up in the back office. So if you have struggles finding that, Jenny, you can reach out to me and let me know, and then I will help you out.
And Victoria, if there's no more questions, I did want to just chip in here with just to reiterate something that was talked about last night on the Zoom, which I have thought about today. It's Billy's approach that is working so well for him. But the idea that he literally does not go anywhere without a bottle of tincture and a jar of gummies, and what else does he take? Oh, some cream with him. He's got that at all times. So if ever in conversation something comes up, he's able to literally administer it right there for the person so they can try it. And I don't know what everybody's experiences are. It might be different for different people, but there are people that experience immediate relief with this stuff. So, I mean, that's a powerful tool to use. I just wanted to bring that up while everybody was on.
Yeah, and I mean, these products definitely sell themselves. A lot of that stuff, like he said, the 1,000-milligram tincture, you almost feel it immediately. You get that relaxation feeling. The edibles, the exact same thing. The pain creams, anybody that has that pain cream, I always carry mine on me for me personally, but if anybody's ever willing or wanting to try it, I always bring it up. And I can tell you from knowing Billy, being at the racetrack with Billy, pretty much every single person that comes across Billy, he's like, have you tried this yet? Take it. And I mean, it really works. It works for him. People are like, this is amazing. I haven't felt, this great in how long. You never want to just be shy to sharing these products with people because you don't know who it could help. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that like you would never even imagine are struggling with certain issues until you ask them about it. So I always recommend just asking because there's a lot of people out there that could definitely benefit from these products. So
I have a testimonial from Heather who's on. I don't know if she knows how to unmute herself, but Heather's one of my ambassadors. I think this is a good place to share this, and I actually asked her to share it on her wall for the first time versus just in our group, right? Do you guys want to hear it? This is what she posted on her wall. So Heather says, my doctor's visit was very good today. I'm so pleased. Why? Because my A1C was down to 4.6. Anything below 7 is okay. And this is as low as I have been since I got diabetes several years ago. It was not so great being in the snow using a walker, but I took a FSC hemp capsule 2 hours before I left, and I did it. I actually did it. The doctor said I was doing well with my diabetes, and my numbers don't lie. I told him about the bottle of the orange FSC tincture. I actually had it with me. Pain relief pump, the recovery salve, and the capsules with her. She's like, which I can't prescribe, but he said he can tell that my numbers don't lie. About the FSC products, he said, it isn't interfering with any of your blood work. It is working for you, and you do have to be careful with some of the homeopathic remedies, but I say keep it up. And she said my blood pressure was normal, all pretty good. So she's really, really pleased, very excited, very up today, and just wanted to share that.
that is awesome. That's super exciting. But I mean, there's crazy testimonies out there. Like, there's just more and more that you find every day. And just like that, Rachel sharing that, and I really appreciate it. And to Heather for posting that and allowing that to be shared, that could really help people. That's why I always recommend to anybody that if you have a testimony, share it. If it's of you, ask your friends if they can post about your testimonies, because you don't know who it could help. Your friend down the street that you didn't even really talk to and you never even thought about reaching out to could be struggling with the same elements that one of your friends is, or somebody else. But that definitely was awesome. So if there's not any more questions tonight, don't think there is. So I just want to thank everybody for jumping on. And so next week, we'll probably have the exact same thing. Next Wednesday, we'll do a product Zoom. So if anybody has any questions, just please reach out to me. And if you guys have anybody that's interested in the products, you can always welcome to this Zoom, and we can answer any questions they have and just go over these wonderful products. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Thank you guys for joining me once again.